So recently, Jafar and I finished the One Piece Strongest Attacks Masterclass. It's an hour-long video, but honestly, God, I think it is one of the best videos I've ever made on this channel. If you want to see that video over in this corner, watch after this video. Because in that video, I talk about Shanks and I talk about Garp at the end section of that video. What I say in that video still applies, but I figure even though it's impossible to tell how powerful the attack is right now, let's just kind of wing it. Let's say before the spoilers drop, which I think, because I don't read them obviously, but I think they're gonna drop at some point on Tuesday or on Monday. So let's see if we can't slide something in on Sunday real quick.
We'll do it live.
Okay. No.
We'll do it live!
What we saw in that chapter was a lot of hype. Very sexy moment for Garp Shujo. But obviously, the question is, how powerful is it? And I did ask on Twitter to the people, hey, yo, how powerful do you believe the Garp Galaxy Impact Fist is? And here were some of the responses. Though, quick note here, I know that Yash, the person that made the picture I used for the Twitter post, was very upset I did not show their watermark on the tweet, but honest to God, your boy was not even thinking about that. So I did give credit later on, and I'll give it now, where that picture was made by Yash on Twitter. So, that being said, Over Heaven says that it's King Kong gun level. RDNW says that it's Big Mom Kaido combo move level, the Ocean Sovereignty. Aditya says that it's over the Divine Departure. Then we have 120 Masked says that it's town level. Then Aaron says it's between the King Punch and the Ikoku Sovereignty. Feet Dr. Zeus says that it's Divine Departure level, equal to that, but it's a widespread AoE version of that. Ranga Muffin, who says that it's equal to 5 Sparrow Candy Maiden decoration attacks combined. People are very creative. I never would have thought that in this comparison, Sparrow would have snuck in somewhere through the back door, but he did. Okay, fair enough. Mastodon, keep it simple. Planetary plus, planet level. Okay, the Grumpo says that it's under Eustace Captain Kidd, damn punk. That could be Beto. Leonardo, though, says also King Kong gun level. Teach, top 1, says it's more powerful than Kamusari. Ditto DTCB, so you know where they stand, Teehee, says it's the strongest attack we've seen. My boy, Arthur Debiru, he says that it's Thunder Bagua level. Ned's Declassified Game Survival, lovely, says that it's city to country levels of power. Ace says that it's mountain level. Zany says that it's an island buster. Goku Lover 99, not 9099, says that it's medium to large city level. John Spartan says that it's as strong as a blast breath. Jay Rizzle says that it's a red rock equivalent. Roquin says that the Hell's Memories clears. I do like the path Roquin is walking on. I'm gonna keep it stacked. Yonido says that it's comparable to a standard Kaido Conqueror's Hockey attack, but more AoE. And then simply put, Monkey D. Luffy says, and I quote, Akainu was lucky is all I'm saying. People are all over the place. I can understand why. I really can't. Because this attack is simply what? Buildings, bolts, sphere, and that's all we really get. Though you can kind of notice here, a lot of folks were comparing this attack to A, the Divine Departure, B, Luffy's King Kong gun he used on Doflamingo. Now again, this is very premature to gauge the power of this attack, but we're going to wing it regardless. And there was something else I did notice in the post replies too. What is the Galaxy Impact Fist? People have various takes on what exactly is the attack. So like I mentioned in the 1080 official review, it is a shockwave made by physical force, amplified by Conqueror's Hockey Fusion minimum. Some folks say that it's pure, quote, pure hockey, which is a weird one, honestly. As if like Garp was Vegeta floating in midair and he fires off a big bang attack.
NANI?
I think folks forget for some reason that Garp is a physical juggernaut. This man literally threw a Looney Tunes size cannonball, like a Sea King size cannonball, at the Straw Hats at the end of Water 7/NA's lobby. He was clearly swinging, not pointing his finger, doing a Frieza attack or a Vegeta attack or a Beerus attack. I think it's a shockwave based on, of course, the actual motion of him swinging the fist, number one. Number two is that it has that sort of ring effect around it in the same vein as Sengoku shockwaves during Marine Ford. Number three is the term impact used in the official translation. And the term impact is in lockstep with the impact dials of Skypiea that do what? Internal damage. And then number four is that we have seen other folks in the past make shockwaves via physical force. The two key examples would be Sai's Dragon Drill Dragon Nail that we see in Dressrosa, that he used to be the OG, that giant vertical shockwave, because that's a Hashoken technique, and Hashoken is purely shockwave production and control. And then there's also in the same arc, Jesus Burgess with his Hado elbow. So I would say it's that for the time being. Could be wrong. Maybe Oda says it actually is a Vegeta Big Bang attack where it's pure Conqueror's hockey orb thing. Maybe. But until then, I'm gonna say that's what it is, since most of the evidence seems to point in that direction. Now, very important few things here I gotta say. Number one, it does feel like in the main shot of the final panel of the chapter, Garp is drawn too big. However, the ship is also shown in that shot above Garp to the top right of that panel. Garp's whole ship can fit in that town area a few times over. Number two, I wholeheartedly agree that this attack is much stronger than it appears to be. Number three, some folks are using the size of the hockey bolts to gauge its power. That's weird as hell. Because I can look at, for example, chapter 1016, a bare bones basic Conqueror's hockey clash between Kaido and Yamato creates Conqueror's hockey bolts that literally span for miles, that are hundreds of feet thick. Is that one basic Conqueror's hockey clash between Kaido and Yamato stronger than a Galaxy Impact technique? I'm gonna say no on that one. And speaking of no, number four, folks want to know, hey yo, King, has your quote stance on Garp changed? No. That's also a massive no. Garp is still in my top 20 from last year. It hasn't changed. And if you saw my video I did earlier this year about Shanks and Garp in hockey, Jafar, boom, hey, opa, then you would realize that what we're seeing now is within expectations that I stated back then.
That's all you had to say.
Less portrayal in terms of why Garp is in top 20 and more feats, which is good. But as I roll through a whole bunch of Twitter comments on how powerful the attack is, clearly folks don't really know how good this feat is. Which ties into point number 5. Is this the single greatest Conqueror's hockey feat in the story?
No.
That title is reserved right now for chapter 1055, when Shanks, on his NASA mission to the moon, radioed in Greenville and told him to stop being a coward. That is the greatest hockey feat, period. And it's the greatest hockey feat, period, by far. Like, literally, by far. It is absurd. Jafar, once again, another video. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Garp is infusing Conqueror's hockey with a shockwave for the first time in the story. That is a very scary thought because of how powerful the Conqueror's hockey can amplify the power of the shockwave. So, finally, here we are. How powerful is the Galaxy Impact Fist of Garp?
I don't know.
Look, here's the sauce. If folks wanted to say that the attack is mountain plus level because of what Garp said about destroying 8 mountains or so to beat Don Chinjao, I think that's relatively fair, honest to God, because it really is hard to tell how big the city is, A, and then B, it's still just a bunch of buildings at the end of the day with a bunch of fodder. You can kind of tell how the island is pretty large based on chapter 925 when Thriller Bark is docked near the island, but the looks aren't that great and it's hard to tell how big some of those main structures are. Hachinoso is not like a gigantic mega city from Judge Dredd. And as far as we know, he's not wiping out, obliterating the entire city. It's that main town square section that they set up for Garp, and it's the surrounding buildings in that area. But I think if folks say it's like mountain plus, like multi-mountain, I'm cool with that, because even though Garp is definitely not the same man he once was, according to what he himself says back at the end of the post-Anius Lobby arc, so because he is slower and older, you can say, well, Conqueror's Haki is a way of making up for that. Because honest to God, I really have a hard time just believing it's as powerful as it looks, meaning it's town to small city. No. We can go higher. Here we go. Here we go. We can go higher than mountain / multi-mountain stuff. We can. Can we get much higher? So high. Okay. We know that Avalo Pizarro is the island of Hachinoso itself. He can feel everything that's happening on the island. He must have felt the Galaxy Impact Fist by Garp, and his reaction to an attack is gonna be very important. If, let's say for example, he is knocked out as an island man of that size, that's a big claim. So if that's the case, then I would say it's probably comparable to Kaido's second strongest blast breath, which is what we see in chapter 1042, when he does a blast breath so powerful, he punches a hole through the entirety of Onigashima in a single attack, an island full of titanic superstructures. If you want to find out how powerful the most powerful of Kaido's blast breath are, once again, people, go to the masterclass video on the strongest attacks of One Piece. So I think, ultimately speaking, because Oda wrote Shanks in 1079 One Tapping Kid, and then the next chapter Garp does this, because it's in back-to-back chapters, people are equating the two, and that's really all the evidence there is for this at the moment, even though one is a bunch of buildings and a bunch of fodder, and then the other one is one of the most durable characters in the story who has durability feats to back up his durability, Kid, literally getting one-tapped. We need to see this actually relative to somebody powerful. If City of the Rain was in there, okay. Okay. Now we're talking. If City of the Rain got one-tapped by the Galaxy Impact, well, goddamn, all right. But so far, that hasn't happened, right? I want to see the aftermath. I want to see how big the area is, and so on and so forth, of course. But the most important thing here is going to be Avalo Pizarro's reaction. But overall, I do like Oda showing off, finally, the staple, the mainstay characters in action. It's been a very long time. And I will say this too, I do not think that this is the strongest move, the best move of Monkey D. Garp. But what do you think on the subject matter at hand? Of course, if you enjoy your boy's content, make sure to like the video, make sure to subscribe to the channel, and of course, click on that bell to join the notification squad. So we're gonna find out soon, in a few days, obviously, if Oda sticks with the Garp and Marine madness on Hachinoso. And I'm hoping that we do get more of Garp Chujo, observation, conquerors, armament, and so on and so forth. It is the final saga, and cats in the top 30 are going to have their portrayal mostly phased out for feats. It has to be now or never, Oda. It's now or never.